everybody. Thank you so much. I'm Jillian Young, and this is your CEO, Eric.
Good morning, everybody.
Eric Gallus, and we're so excited that you are here. Look, we really miss our company breakfast meetings at 7 a.m. We used to get there and get everything ready for you, so it feels a little weird to do this on Zoom, but we are thrilled that all of you are joining us. We have over 100 people that will view this, and we just look forward to hearing your interaction. We're going to have questions and answers open in the chat box and in the Q&A box. We'd love for you to ask our panelists questions as we go on. You want to stay tuned because I am going to give you a chance to win a PPR Cares t-shirt. Let me know in the chat if you want to win a PPR Cares t-shirt. You are going to have that chance a little bit later in the webinar, so stay tuned, and you are going to learn tips from one of our top producing team leads, Mark Washburn. He's going to let you know what's working for him. You're going to hear from Eric Gallus is going to give you a couple of company updates. MARLO and David are going to be an encouragement and give you some market updates. Victor, of course, is going to give you some market stats. We have MentorEDGE graduation announcement from Jessica Loy, our broker associate of MentorEDGE. We have Jonathan Garrick from Movement Mortgage telling you what's working in the finance world and what he has done to overcome the odds. We have our WWMR representative, Josh RUDNICK, who is so kind to share some what's happening in the legal world and how you can overcome some of the obstacles of the COVID addendums and all of that. We've got our Lee County broker, David COPPOCK, and Scott J. VAIL is going to be sharing some motivation for you to get you up out from behind the computer and out into making your business happen. So we are super thrilled. NIKKI Hunter is your event coordinator, and she has worked tirelessly to make this a valuable event for you. We're so excited, and I just wanted to introduce Eric to you. So welcome.
Yeah, good morning. Wow, that's a mouthful. That was a lot of people. I mean, look at this panel. That's great, you guys. Well, good morning, Eric Gallus, CEO, Premier Plus Realty. You guys, I'm extremely grateful to be a part of an organization that is investing and spends so much time in overcoming all the hurdles and everything that we've been going through. And extremely grateful to be able to live in this area called not Naples, Florida, Southwest Florida, where so many people want to be right now. So it's a very exciting time. So many success stories. You're going to hear some of those success stories from some agents and from our leadership team. But what I wanted to do is take a couple quick seconds here and give some company announcements. First of all, with staff, I want to introduce Jamie Edgar. Jamie Edgar is our new location manager down on Marco Island. So make sure if any of you are down there, spend some time, love up on her, tell her who you are and introduce yourself. We're super excited to have her on board the team. And the next big announcement I would like to make is everybody knows Jillian Young and the fantastic, the marketing communication director we have that has taken Premier Plus and the branding to the highest level. And we're going to continue to benefit you guys, the agents, and move forward with her fantastic skills. But what I'd like to announce is she has been spending so much time and working with myself and the leadership team with the business development here at Premier Plus Realty through COVID and over the years, and she has really, you've been held back. So I am excited to announce that Jillian is going to be and has already been moved up to the Executive Vice President for Premier Plus Realty. So that is, so everybody,
thank you.
That is a huge placement. That is a big task for me myself, and I'm greatly thankful for you, your family, and everything that she has offered you, the agents, and continues to bring to this platform we have with Premier Plus Realty. So
thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much, Eric. So yeah, I'm honored to take this position and just wanted to get that out of the way. I'm here to serve you and make Premier Plus the best place to do real estate. We want the best, most competent and happiest agents in Southwest Florida. So that's my goal. That's what we're working on. And we're starting here with the Overcomer event. So I'm thrilled about Jamie. I did want to let you know, we would love to hire within the family a place at our Cape Coral office. We need a killer real estate agent who is ready to join the staff and help broker David COPPOCK in our Cape Coral office. So you can check your announcements in your email for information on how to apply for that. So let's get started. We have, this should be streaming on Facebook. So we would love it if you logged into Facebook and shared the stream. Could be a little connection issue, so keep checking back to make sure that that's working if that's not. Again, love to see your chats and your Q&A. And what I would like to do is introduce our broker associate of the MentorEDGE Real Estate Training Program, Jessica Loy. I love Jessica's heart for helping new agents navigate this crazy real estate world. Yeah. She goes above and beyond in everything that she does, and we're so proud of her. And she is proud of all of the agents who have completed their first 3 deals and wants to talk a little bit more about that. Jessica?
Yes, thank you, Jillian, for that lovely introduction. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Overcomer event. This is so exciting. So I want to start with those that are asking yourself, what is MentorEDGE? Well, MentorEDGE is a training program that's been designed to assist and prepare our newly licensed agents as they launch their career here at Premier Plus Realty. But it's not just a training program. It's also an opportunity for those new agents to connect with local resources and also to build a network of highly professional individuals. Some of those which you're going to hear from today. But understand this newfound knowledge is also going to benefit as a MentorEDGE agent by building credibility in our industry, by staying up to date with the industry's changes. I mean, like many of you needing to revamp for what's in store ahead, we as the MentorEDGE support team have had to overcome these changes as well. But we did it. And we're excited to share that we hosted our very first virtual training program this past session. And I think that is just a huge accomplishment because it is really allowing us to be able to adapt how we're going to offer training to our MentorEDGE agents moving forward. So a lot of great stuff happening in the background that we're excited to share once it's all put together for our MentorEDGE agents. So with all that being said, I'm excited to announce that our summer session is going to be starting on Tuesday, July 7th. MentorEDGE agents, keep an eye out in your inbox for further instructions, but also for registration details as we will be putting on an orientation for MentorEDGE on Wednesday, June 24th. Okay, so come join us. It's a chance to get your questions answered and also meet your mentors. And I want to also make an announcement. If you don't know that you are a participant of our MentorEDGE training program, you know, I encourage you to look back in your independent contractor agreement. You know, there's going to be a second training amendment you had signed and submitted. But also reach out. You'll see my contact information is here on the slide. Call me, email me, and we'll certainly verify if you are participating in our MentorEDGE program so that you can have the agenda for the upcoming classes, you know, the communication for the MentorEDGE support team and all that good stuff there too. So I also want to announce that if you're reaching out and you might not be MentorEDGE, you may be on the 100% side of our company, but that too is exciting and kudos for you because we have some of our very own that were once brand new agents, but now they are closing deals and keeping 100% of their commissions. So let's give a Premier Plus virtual congratulations to our recent MentorEDGE graduates who have overcome completing the program, completing transactions, and again, are now on the 100% side. So if any of our 100% earners are watching us this morning, you know, give us a hello in the chat. You guys have worked so hard and just you deserve a little spotlight this morning. So Robert Blinn, Larry Fisher, Gina Jackson, Miranda Meyer, Ewan Nugent, Darren Ellison, Liliana Barrow, Tammy Garvey, I mean, Reina Reyes, Monica, Zachary. I mean, this is just what we are just so happy and excited for you guys. And even more thrilled that now you get to keep 100% of those commissions for your closings. So congratulations. Let's see if there's anyone that's putting in our chat right now for us. Congrats, congrats, everyone. Well, we're excited to keep moving forward and happy to continue sharing information with you guys as we keep overcoming what's in store for us. So those are my announcements for you today. If you have any questions, please feel free, put them in the chat to me or the Q&A panel. Otherwise, it will be my pleasure to pass the screen on to our numbers guru and our Director of Career Development, Mr. Victor ASENCIO. So thank you everybody for listening and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Jessica, and good morning, overcomers. I'm excited to be here, be a part of this meeting. Yeah, it's me. I'm wearing a cap today because I didn't get a chance to do my hair. So I'm just covering it up and just having a new look. But just wanted to tell you, hey, 3 months ago, we were handed a new deck of cards and everything changed. Personally, business-wise, market-wise, everything changed 3 months ago. And here we are 3 months later, taking a look at what happened at that moment when we were sent home and all of a sudden everything was changing, and how we have taken that situation and converted it into a positive. And I'm here to share some stats that show that you guys have overcome. And that's a reason why this event, it's a named Overcomer. It's because it's all about what you guys have done, how we as a real estate community and industry have overcome all the situation that's come about 3 months ago. Think about it, 3 months is nothing. It's here kind of talking about the history, yet we're still living some of that. But at the same time, we've come so far. And if Nikki would be so gentle as to put some of the stats I wanted to share with you folks. Here we're looking at statistics that I took out of Matrix. So these statistics are about Lee County and Collier County combined. And what we're looking at in this graph, it's just the happening by week. I've been talking to you guys and every opportunity I've gotten about what's happening the past week, in the past 2 weeks, because things are changing, they're changing fast. So I wanted to kind of give you a glimpse of the past 6 weeks, what's taken place. So let's look back at week ending May 4th. You see 888 new listings coming in the market that week. And we had 521 pending transactions. Once again, want to remind you, these are deals that were taking place or listings that were taking place in the 2 counties, Lee County and also Collier County, and this data comes from Matrix. So now we look at the following week, weekend in May 11th, kind of the same trend, more listings coming in the market than we had pending deals. Now, transitioning to weekend in May 18th and May 25th, and you see that the trend starts changing. Things are leveling off to a degree. Now look at the last 2 weeks, June 1st and weekend in June 8th, we have more pending deals than we have active listings, yet both numbers have grown. I mean, the last 2 weeks, we've had over 1,100 and 1,200 new listings and 1,200 and 1,300 pending deals. Compare that to the week ending May 4th, and we're more than double on pendings and probably about 30% higher, 40% higher on new listings. So what is that telling us? Hey, we have found a way of making it happen. The consumer is getting more comfortable. You, the agent, you guys are going out there and just servicing the consumer in the new era, in the new way of doing things via Zoom, via FaceTime, via email, and all the tools that you already embrace and have become very good at. Nikki, if we can go to the next slide, please. So here's the statistics about Premier Plus Realty. Many a times I share statistics about the market, yet you agents, Premier Plus Realty agents, overcomers, want to see what are we as a company doing. Here it is, the past 6 weeks. What have we done? Well, go back to end of May 4th, and we looked at slightly over 40 new listings. Once again, this is 7 days of activity. Each graph, it's showing you 7 days of activity. So we go from that to where we're at right now, and you compare 6 weeks later, that new listings have gone up to 60. And let's look at pending deals. May 4th, we're looking at about 70 pending transactions. Now move forward to week ending June 8th, and you're at 125. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So these are the results of your activities, your doings, your embracing, you overcoming, and you taking technology and using it to the best and putting your skill set and continuing building relationships and continuing building trust and showing the consumer that you are a trusted agent and you should be the one selected to do the work. So I applaud you and I'm excited about you. I'm here for you guys. Anything I can do to help, not only by helping growing your business, but at the same time, helping those that you want to send our way for a conversation so they can experience the Premier Plus Realty way of doing things. I'm here for you. And I'm going to go ahead and pass you on now. If there's any questions, I don't know if we're taking questions or not, but I'll be delighted now to put you on Mark Washburn's hands, who's going to be talking to us about Agent Outlook.
Yes, thank you, Victor. Oh my goodness, we are so thankful for your ability to take numbers and interpret them for our agents. And we'll have this replay available for you so that you can really look at those graphs. And we're so thankful for Victor. So if you have a question about what he just talked about, type a question in the Q&A box, or we are live on our Facebook page right now. So he'll be answering those live for you. Remember, a little bit later, I'm going to tell you how you can win a PPR Cares t-shirt. So stay tuned for that. We've got Josh Rudnick and Jonathan Garrick coming up, as well as speaker and author Scott J. VAIL. But for now, we are so excited to announce team lead Mark Washburn. He has been one of our faithful associates at Premier Plus Realty. He's located in Boston and he has a team down here. And guys, he's killing it. And so what he's going to do is share what's been working for him during this year in these crazy times. So Mark, take it away.
Thank you very much, Jillian. I appreciate the introduction. I need to share my screen. I think you need to turn off your sharing.
Yep, I've stopped sharing, so you should be able to share now.
Perfect, perfect. Don't look at my desktop because it's kind of busy. Okay, so I want to talk today about winning during COVID-19. And I think this post that Jillian made back in March goes a long way towards how things have changed in the last couple months. And I actually screenshot this and put it in my, I'm going to use this sometime folder. And it really cracked me up because someone stole her TP off her porch, which shouldn't make me laugh, but it did for some reason. And thought that you might all get a kick out of that. I love Premier Plus. This company is wonderful, and I have the pleasure of working with 23 awesome agents pictured here. I can't imagine where else I'd rather be in Southwest Florida than with Premier Plus. Our folks are hungry, aggressive, smart, and they make something happen every day. It's truly a delight to work with this crew. So my world changed on March 19th, which was 2 days after Jillian's toilet paper theft. That morning, I woke up and went and looked at my inbox, and we had 300 leads unsubscribed from our automation. And if you figure out what it costs to generate a lead, it's several dollars a lead when you add up all the costs. That was an expensive day. So I immediately put the brakes on our automation. I turned off our Facebook advertising, turned off some Google advertising I do, and said it's time to bunker down. This truly proved to be a good call, because we didn't get any more unsubscribes. Once a lead unsubscribes, it's really not as good a lead. There's not, you can't send automation to it. The good news is on May 1st, we turned all the automation back on. And in Lee County, we had a stronger website activity month in May of 2020 than we did in May of 2019. We were off about 10% in Collier County. So all in all, I'm really pleased with that. And since the 1st of May, we've seen several deals go pending, and there's actually been a few closings already this month. So very excited about that. So besides watching the Tiger King, I want to tell you a couple things that I did during the pandemic that made a difference to my business. If you ask me what's my passion in real estate, it's keywords. And I'm probably the only one at the company that would answer that way. But keywords are what people type in a search, and my goal is to rank first for every keyword related to real estate. I'm pretty fortunate in Lee County. I rank #1 on Google for about 2,100 keywords, and in Collier, rank #1 on Google for about 500. It's pretty strong. So I don't have to pay Google on a per-click basis. The traffic just comes, and it makes this whole lead referral business that I have work for everybody, because we're not spending significant dollars to get a click. So to get these keywords to rank, you have to have good content. And so what I did when there was a lot less lead activity, what I did was I put my content hat on, and over the course of the last 2 months, I've built 328 new website pages. Many of those are in Collier County, because that's where I have a hole. And I expect that effort will pay off with more keywords ranking on the first page of Google. One thing that you might be interesting, about 60% of all clicks on Google come from the first 3 positions. So if you're below the 3rd position, you're not as likely to get a click, because 60% are the top 3. If you have a website and are trying to rank, my advice is to write good content and focus on a niche, whether it's boating, or whether it's golf, or whether it's Park Shore or Mediterra, what have you. Find your niche and really focus hard on that. And it's not hard to rank, particularly if you have the courage and the guts to make video. Video always has a position on the first page of Google, and that would be my advice. Make some videos. So the second thing that I did during the pandemic to help my business was I reinvented one of my employees. So this is Sue Della Santa, who is my VA, and her family. They live in the Philippines. They live in Subic Bay, which is an old US Navy base that was given back to the Philippine people. And she and I have been working together about 7 or 8 years. When we turned off a lot of the automation and the lead flow slowed down, I had a problem in that Sue's one of my top couple line items, but we didn't have as much work for her. So I spent about 10 days, the second half of March, teaching her new skills and offloaded something that I really don't like doing onto her. So Sue now knows how to make web pages, how to work with HTML. And I mean, this was truly a remarkable transformation from someone that was more administrative to now having some technical abilities as well. She's really excited about it. She's good. I have used contractors in the past. I have one I work with that is about 4 times as expensive as Sue, and Sue's quality work is better. So major win. If you do have staff, think about how you can grow and expand their skill set, because it really makes a big difference. And, you know, I think that this was just a wonderful accomplishment. Yes, and she does have 6 kids, and she does work from 9 p.m. her time to 6 a.m. her time, supporting our team. Another thing that I have been very confused about is how to make Instagram work for real estate. I mean, a lot of agents have Instagram accounts, and I just am not seeing the kind of engagement and the numbers of followers, et cetera, in the IG world for realtors. So we did a little experiment over the pandemic. We got a new puppy in February. His name is Otis. You can see him here. And in collaboration with my daughter, we made an Instagram page for him. And I kind of took I guess you'd call it a graduate level course in how to be successful at Instagram. So over the past 2 months, we basically posted every other day, and have been able to get 375 followers to Otis's account. And kind of my takeaways for real estate are this. It's really not about you. So if you're on Instagram, stop promoting open houses, stop promoting your success, stop promoting new listings. People are really interested in great photography and will find you via the hashtags. So my dog is kind of a unique breed. It's a flat-coated retriever. And we hashtag every post with flat-coat retriever. And we've got followers all over the world, Scandinavia, in London, Japan, and so on. So think about it from the user perspective, not your perspective. So it's an outward focus to have people find you rather than blatantly promoting what you're doing. I mean, an example of this is if you have a new listing, promote a feature of it, like the view or the boat dock or the beautiful garden. That's what people are searching on Instagram for. And that's how you can get more followers, which, you know, builds your credibility. So I hope that, you know, that will prove helpful moving forward with your IG strategy. That's pretty much it for me, Nikki.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mark. I think that our agents can take away a lot from what you said. Can you let them know where to find you on social media?
Sure. You can find me at Naples Condo Boutique on Facebook. You can find me at Greater Fort Myers Real Estate on Facebook, as well as those 2 websites.
Awesome. Are you still looking for team members? Because we have your info on our team page on their mypremierplus.com account.
We're pretty well positioned right now.
Okay.
I've been hearing from several people, and if you know, please do reach out if you have an interest. And if I guess it's on me if I can generate enough leads to warrant additional team members. I would consider others. I'd say today, probably not.
Awesome. So good to just make that connection. Well, really appreciate your time, Mark. I know you're a busy guy, and I hope that our agents can take away something from what you said and apply it today. In fact, if you learned something that you didn't know before, would love to have you say, yes, I learned something, and what you learned in the chat box. And if you have a question, like a techie question, Mark is gonna stay on in the background and answer your questions in the Q&A box and in the chat box. And again, we're also live on our Facebook page. So thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, so now what I get to talk about is PPR Cares. It's a very brief overview of what we've done for PPR Cares. What is PPR Cares, if I can even hold this shirt up right? This is our giving initiative. A portion of every transaction fee goes to a special fund, and we distribute that to local nonprofit organizations. And because of the work that you did in the first quarter of the year, we were able to give over $6,000 to places like Harry Chapin Food Bank, to St. Matthew's House, to Path to Freedom, which rescues young girls from the human sex trafficking trade, and so much more. We have many places that we support. And I am pleased to announce that even though we've gone through this pandemic together, we were able to give about $4,000 to the St. Matthew's House for their food distribution services to the local community. So because of your hard work and perseverance, you were able to put food in the mouths of the people in our local community who were hurting and not so fortunate. So thank you so much for doing that, and we want to celebrate. So what we're going to do is later on, I'm going to have an opportunity for you to win a free PPR Cares shirt, so you can wear it loud and proud that you support the local community through the good work that you are doing. And let's see. Oh, yes. If you don't want to win a PPR Cares shirt, but you'd like to purchase one, we'll have them available at the North Naples office on Monday for $20, and the $20 will go back into the PPR Cares Fund to cover the cost of the shirt and to be able to give additionally to local nonprofits. Here is a slide of our some of our staff members. When we were working from home, we wanted to keep the tradition of wearing our PPR Cares shirts on Friday, and we just love them so much, and just want you all to have an opportunity to represent what you get to do for the community through your work. All right. I am excited to announce a personal friend of mine. Love this guy, love his family, and I'm so glad that he is part of our Premier Plus family and his team. It's Jonathan Garrick from Movement Mortgage. He's inspirational. He's going to tell you what has worked for him and his team to overcome these times. Hey, Jonathan.
How's it going?
Good. Thank you for being here. I'm going to give it over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for having me. And I did learn something from Mark. I had no idea what a flat coated retriever was. I just looked them up. They are really cute and a very cool breed, it looks like. So I'm a dog lover. So learned something new this morning. And I too have a hat on just like Victor. So thanks for having us. And Jillian, we feel the same way here at Movement with our relationship with PPR and the culture fit that it has been. It's just been incredible. You guys are very fortunate with the leadership you have there at PPR. I'm hearing from people all over, realtors that we do business with, that weren't educated and updated during COVID on what's going on contract changes, what you should be aware of. And man, that PPR, your staff, you guys did an incredible job of staying on top of that, of communicating, of educating. You were, as our CEO has shared in a couple of video clips, fast to the fight, right? You guys were fast to the fight with information. And when you're fast to the fight, you can head stuff off in the beginning. And I think you guys have probably even done some growing during COVID because of that. So kudos to the PPR staff and what you guys have done and the lines of communication that you have kept open during this time. And so that's what I wanted to share. Our message to our team has been the same all along, that this has been a fantastic opportunity and it will continue to be a fantastic opportunity to experience growth right now. Most of us are uncomfortable. Most of us over the last few months have started operating in different ways, like with the situations we're in, we're having to deal with clients differently. For you realtor partners, how you show homes, you're showing homes differently. You're selling homes differently. People are buying homes differently. We've seen an uptick in people buying homes without even seeing the property. So here's what I know about growth. And follow me here for just a minute. Growth is related to time under tension, meaning the more time we spend under tension, then our ability to tolerate tension is directly related to our ability to grow. So I said that a little bit backwards, but growth is related to time under tension, and our ability to tolerate tension is directly related to our ability to grow. So the more you can intentionally create tension in your lives, and you're like, well, what the heck does that mean? What are you talking about? I mean, look for things that make you uncomfortable right now. More things, Jonathan? Yes, even more things. And then collaborate with other people. Those other people who will experience growth with you. So we started doing a breakfast club in the morning for our team. And we got a group of people together who were like, right now we have a fantastic opportunity to come out of COVID, because we know in Southwest Florida what the marketplace is going to look like when we come out of COVID. We really feel strong about where we live. We're already seeing an uptick in business. And we've had record month over month, and June with our team is going to be another record month. I have 8 loan officers that are going to do over $3 million in loan volume. And it's because they've been experiencing tension during COVID. They've experienced such growth that they're coming out of this. And I know a lot of you realtors and your team, right? Like Eric, you and your team have probably adopted things during this COVID time that you're going to utilize moving forward. So anytime there is a pandemic, anytime something like this happens, we have the ability to come out of it better, stronger, and not weaker. And so it's been really cool being able to see that. And so when you say, hey, what do you mean, what does it look like to get uncomfortable? Maybe it's like some of us are feelings, right? We get really uncomfortable with our feelings. So maybe it's finally telling that person how you feel, what's on your mind, how much you care about them. This creates tension, and it's an opportunity for growth. And to be able to express yourself more openly and freely, it opens you up to powerful relationships. Like that's a connector right there. So that's one of the things we've been focusing on. Our team has been focusing on expressing ourselves freely. Like that thing you want to say, thinking about how can I say that in a way that's constructive? How can I express that in a way that makes a difference for this person and doesn't show like my emotion? Maybe it's learning a new skill. I know a lot of you guys have had to learn new skills, doing more video. Maybe it's practicing your listing presentations that you're not comfortable with, that you don't think you've nailed. Maybe it's finally working on that one thing that will get your business to the next level. Just like Mark was talking about, like what a great way to those neighborhoods that you've been farming, that you want to be the person, figuring out the keywords you need to use and getting to be #1 in that Google search. It's obviously working for him. So learning that new skill. What are those keywords? What do they look like? And I'll end with this. This is something that normal, successful entrepreneurs, just like you heard, he created tension. Like he didn't really know what to do. Mark created tension for his virtual assistant. She didn't know HTML. It was probably uncomfortable for her, but his team came out of this stronger. And this is something successful companies and businesses do. They look for ways to purposefully create tension so that they come out of something stronger, better, new ideas, more creative ways of doing business. And so that's one of the things we've been doing here at Movement Mortgage, and we're going to continue to. We have a new platform rolling out called Move Home. I'm not going to give you a ton of information about it, but it is, you guys have probably seen some of our videos. It's going to transform, even though we do business completely differently, it's going to take it to the next level with the way we communicate with you, with your borrowers, and the ease of the transaction. Right now, 80% of our deals that we close that are financed, that borrower spends about 15 minutes at the title company because of our easy sign process. We're going to continue to make those things easier for you or your clients, because we know at the end of the day, if we've blown them away with our process and you are the realtor that sent them to us, you created a massive referral opportunity for future business. And that's our goal, is to continue to help you grow your business. We love you guys. We're here for you. And the contracts are flowing in. We want to build our influence inside of PPR. So if you haven't yet had the opportunity to work with Movement Mortgage, or to experience our process, or to talk with one of our fantastic loan officers that serve your account, please reach out to them, give them an opportunity. But don't listen to the narrative that things are not good right now. They are good. If you're putting in the work, your business will grow. And we know right now in real estate, it's a 90-day cycle. So, the best time to start was yesterday. So you can still start today. What you focus on expands. And if you focus on growing your business and creating tension in your business and in your life, we know you're going to come out the other side of that prepared to deal with whatever the heck we're going to deal with, because we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what new thing the media is going to put on us, or that we're going to learn about. So being prepared and continually focusing on yourself, your business, and ways to create tension for yourself will keep you kind of in the zone of your family, your business, and the people you do life with. And that's really all I have.
Thank you, Jonathan. That's awesome. I love what you said is what you focus on expands. So I want you to type in the chat box, where are you going to focus your attention and energy to expand your business right now? So thank you, Jonathan. Really appreciate you. And just thanks for the good words and your time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome broker MARLO Rhymes and broker founder David Gallus. Take it away.
Yeah, so welcome everybody. David decided to drive all the way down here to Bonita. I just love him so much. Such a leader, such a wonderful man. And one of my overcoming moments was to join Premier Plus 11 years ago. So we want to just acknowledge the people that are overcomers that took the opportunity to jump through all of those hoops to get their license and become brand new agents here, and agents that took the initiative to say, hey, there's another company out there called Premier Plus and we want to join them. So Nikki, if you could show those slides, these are the people that have joined Premier Plus, and we are excited to say hello to all of you. Please, if you recognize a name, put a shout out in the chat box and welcome them. We have from the Collier to the downtown, to the Marco, to the Cape Coral, to the Fort Myers, and to the Bonita. These are people that truly overcame obstacles during a difficult time and made the decision to come over here to Premier Plus. And that's what we want to talk about today, is overcoming. And David and I would love to share some moments of situations that we're aware of, that you share a win with us and you overcame. Many of you shared those successes with us, and many of you were a part of those successes. So what I want to talk about before I hand it over to David is real estate. That's where we overcome. But did you know that you literally have mental real estate? And what I'm saying by mental real estate is you have an opportunity to think and have a property inside of your brain that is positive or negative. If you want to live by the water and have a beautiful breezy location, it's based on how you think, feel, and choose. So right now, my body is going through some excitement. I have cortisol dripping, I have adrenaline going, and it's to keep me excited to be able to speak intelligently and give you hope, right? And when you're going out there and you're selling real estate, mentally, you are occupying real estate. And if you're having the mindset that this is too hard, this is impossible, you are building weeds in your ground, and you want to sell that off. You do not want to keep that. So start selling wrong real estate in your brain by making right choices. I love what Mark did. He took a moment that was devastating and he gave opportunity to one of his employees. I love what Jonathan said. If you need to stretch yourself and grow, it's going to be a choice that you make. And so I just want to really encourage you today to understand your body physically changes. It drips cortisol and adrenaline when you're in a fight or flight mode. Your body is built to do that, to get you out of that moment, whether it's a good moment or a bad moment. When you keep yourself in that fight or flight state, you're literally dripping the wrong chemicals, causing inflammation. I'm not a doctor, but I know these things because I go through it. And I want to encourage you, as you think, feel, and choose, you get to change that cortisol drip in your brain to calm down, make the right decisions, and grow in your business. So start selling off that real estate in your brain that's negative. And now I'm going to give it over to our wonderful founder, David Gallus, to give you some overcomer moments that he wants to encourage you with.
Thank you, Marla.
You're welcome, Papa.
Well, believe it or not, every one of you is an overcomer. It's just some of you have to overcome more than others. Mm-hmm. And we've had some real overcoming during this time period. I'm not going to give you her name, but you can figure it out. She's our oldest realtor with us, the oldest one that's been the longest with us, but I won't give you her name. She ended up in the hospital early on through this whole thing. The doctors didn't know what was wrong with her. She was going downhill fast. She did not have the virus. Her body was shutting down. They put her on a ventilator. She was still doing business right up to the minute they put her on a ventilator. They eventually put her in an induced coma. She was in the hospital for over 3 weeks. They thought she was going to die. They called in the family. They finally discovered what her issues were, and they put her in an induced coma. Like I say, she worked right up until the time she was incapacitated. And then thanks to the PPR family, they kept her business going while she's in a coma, knowing she's going to come out and have some business when she comes out of her coma. It worked out real well. As soon as she was able to speak, she was back doing business. Today she's home, she's exercising, she's walking. She looks better than she did 21 years ago when we hired her. So that's just one example of an overcomer. And I think Marlo's got one example. Did you want to talk about?
We have lots of examples of your wins, and we just, you know, we've got an agent out there, like I said before on our coffee break, that, you know, she has taken the social media by storm. She has asked questions of Jillian, of Nikki, of myself, of other professionals. How do I get my social media? How do I get my marketing going? And she took the initiative to say, I'm going to do this. I want to continue my real estate. We have somebody else that was by themselves the whole entire time, lost family members, but now is closing 2 transactions. Walked in my office the other day. I couldn't even believe the tragedy that she had gone through, and yet she's standing there looking the same as she did before COVID-19 stopped us from all getting together. And she's closing 2 transactions right now. So I just want you to know that it is important for you to understand that your opportunity to overcome is given to you. You get to make that decision. You're the owner of your own business. And if you take that initiative in that moment of tenseness, I can't even imagine the world that you're going to change for yourself and for the others around you, because what you decide changes others too. Now, I would love to introduce somebody that has been a source.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh yeah, Papa's got something else to say.
If you're an overcomer, and you are, and you need prayers, don't be afraid to contact us and ask us for prayers.
Yes.
These ladies and men have a fantastic prayer chain, and prayer does work.
Yes, it does. All right. So now, one that's been a source of overcoming to me in my world of helping you guys. He brings power to the situation. He brings great advice when it comes to addendums to help the transaction to close. And one of a very good personal friends of mine is Joshua David RUDNICK with WWMR. Take it away, brother.
All right. I think everyone can hear me, and I'm on. I did not get the memo about the hats from Victor or Jonathan, so I am not wearing a hat today. But on behalf of my entire law firm, I am so thankful to be part of this just wonderful family. In the world that we currently find ourselves in, just to sit back today, this morning, and listen to just the positive messages, just the love that's shared throughout this organization, is it gives you a just the greatest feeling inside, and I'm thankful to be part of this. I love all of you, and I think it's just been during this time, you know, being able to talk to the brokers, and we've all come together and you know, through our firm and your company, and bounce ideas off of each other and figure out how to persevere and make sure that, you know, our community is moving forward. You know, there's I think Jonathan, you know, everything that Jonathan said is phenomenal, and the motivation and everyone persevering through adversity is just a great thing. It's just going to make us all stronger. You know, none of us ever predicted this was going to happen, and it's impacted all of our lives. I mean, the one quote that I had on my desk, and I don't even know where it came from, and it's so short and sweet, but it's just to me, it's just been resonating through me every day, is that every flower must grow through dirt. And if you think about that, if you're going to grow, flourish, and bloom, you're going to have to work yourself through some dirt first. And I think we've all worked through that dirt, and we'll continue to work through it. So, you know, hearing the great stories about people overcoming some negative impacts from COVID and everything that's going on, it's just been great. It keeps us at our law firm moving forward. We've had to do things that we've never done before. I mean, you know, in changing the way we operate the law firm, changing the way real estate transactions have, you know, been handled. It's just been, it's thrown us all through a loop, and you just kind of persevere through it, and you learn from it, and you keep moving forward. So it's been great for us just to continue and be blessed to continue to be able to operate. I mean, we're so thankful and fortunate that, you know, we live in Florida and we live in Naples, and you know, we're in a little bubble in Naples times, and you know, and you look around of everything that's going on throughout the entire country and the world, and you look back and you look at yourself in the mirror, and you realize how blessed we are, and some of us are so fortunate. But so, you know, obviously I'm the lawyer, so I've got to go over some negative things. We're not so much negative stuff, but the legal stuff that no one ever really wants to hear about. Unfortunately, what I have been seeing, you know, aside, the fortunate part is the real estate market has been strong. None of us really predicted it to be as strong as it is during this time, which is great. I mean, when COVID hit, none of us knew what was going to happen. But we're seeing it very strong. So it's positive for all you agents out there. Just keep plugging along, keep doing what you're doing, because we're seeing a lot of movement. We're seeing a lot of contracts. We're seeing people really, really doing well during this time. So that's been positive. But unfortunately, there's also a lot of people that are not doing well. And with that adversity, sometimes you see the worst in people coming out. And one thing that has been a common theme in the past 3 weeks is we're getting a ton of calls about procuring causes, and people asking if they are a procuring cause of a transaction. And I just want to be real brief. And the short and sweet answer to the phone call that I get when someone says, I think I'm the procuring cause, can I win this case? And the answer is, I have no idea. There is no clear set decision as to whether one person is a procuring cause or not. It's a factual case-by-case basis. So what I will caution everyone out there, document everything. The best way to protect your commission, the best way to protect yourself if you are challenged that someone else is the procuring cause of your commission, is to have the proper documentation. We always deal with these issues, and one thing I'll tell everyone is, if you have proper documentation showing that you've maintained constant communication with that buyer or seller, if you can show that you are the person that negotiated this transaction, and the National Association of Realtors basically takes a look at it, and they says if the sale would not have occurred but for the broker's effort. So would this sale have occurred but for your efforts as the agent on the transaction? We have to look at whether there was a ready, willing, and able buyer or seller, and you negotiated that transaction for them. So just one thing, just to take of this, document everything. I got a call last week. Someone showed someone a property. That buyer went and hired another agent to draft, went and got with another agent. That agent drafted and negotiated the sales transaction. And unfortunately, that person, that just because they put that person in their car and showed them a property one time 6 months ago, they may not have been the procuring cause. And they didn't have proper documentation or even show that they stayed in constant communication with that buyer. So properly document it. One other thing is powers of attorney. With COVID, with travel restrictions, with people concerned about health restrictions, especially the elderly population, they want to give their kids powers of attorney to sign, or they believe they have a power of attorney that is valid so someone else can sign for them. Rule of thumb, get that power of attorney reviewed by a Florida licensed real estate attorney, not the New York attorney, not the Illinois attorney, the attorney in Florida that's licensed, that practices real estate law. Let them review that power of attorney, make sure we can use it for closing. Because the last thing we want is that everyone thinks there's a power of attorney to be used and it's not valid in Florida. The rule of thumb for powers of attorney is we need the original. It needs to be witnessed by 2 unrelated witnesses and notarized the same way you would do with the warranty deed. So just be careful with that. We're seeing that a lot. You know, and again, our law firm is here for all of you. If there's anything that we could do, answer any questions. I know there are people out there that are going through some troubling times. So we're here to help. We're here to provide whatever counsel and support we can to our community and all of you as part of the Premier Plus family. So I appreciate the time and the opportunity to get up here or be online and speak. And I am, for the first time, I think in my life, I'm cutting it right on the time limit of 10 minutes. So I will leave it from there.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Josh. And I just want to piggyback on Josh and just encourage you agents to utilize the services that they have provided. He is the expert in real estate law. And let's not go there. Let's just let them take care of those details in that area. And thank you so much, Josh. It was amazing, encouraging. We appreciate it. And I get to come to you now with just a couple of quick public service announcements. And I'm just going to show you really quickly here. There's a QR code up on the screen that'll take you to the events calendar. We are still working on bringing you trainings, classes, meetings through Zoom until we're able to open up our doors to bigger gatherings. So hopefully you are availing yourself to those resources that are available. I also want to encourage you to become familiar with the intranet and the agent tools. There are so many resources there. RPR is coming with a couple of classes to us in the end of June and July, and they are just an amazing resource. One of them is how to create a relocation package for your customers. We have so many Northerners who are ready to get out of Dodge, so let's be prepared to have those presentations ready for them, as well as Movement Mortgage, who you heard from Jonathan Garrick. He has a team of loan officers who provide Agent Marketing Academy classes where you can become really good at marketing your business. So check out the event calendar. We want to also remind you that if you have questions for any of our panelists, go ahead and put those in the Q&A box. Direct them directly to the panelists that you want to answer it. So say their name. So if you have a question for Josh, please type in there, Josh, here's my question. And they're here in the background still with us, and they will answer those questions in that box for you. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you the next panelist. We actually have Scott J. VAIL here, who is he owns one of our preferred vendors. He owns a painting company called Scott J. VAIL Painting. He also happens to be an author and a public speaker. If you were at the Christmas breakfast, you would have been introduced to him. He was our MC for the morning, and it was amazing. And what Scott J. VAIL does is he helps people overcome the odds when they're stacked against them. So we welcome you, Scott J. VAIL, and a virtual round of applause for him as he takes the stage. Thanks for joining us, Scott.
My pleasure, Nikki, and my timer has started, so not to worry, I'm spot on. So first off, obviously, just thank you very, very much for opening up the platform. Thank you to David, to Eric, to Marlo, to Jillian, to Nikki for having me here as part of the PPR family. Thank you for that. And obviously, hello to everybody out there at Premier Plus, especially our new members. Welcome. So I'll be real quick and brief. If I go a little fast, please feel free to drop something in the chat, a question that you have, or reach out to Nikki. I will make sure I do take time personally to answer everything that you have that comes about my talk today. So one of the greatest challenges, again, overcoming what I'm doing right now as somebody who loves to speak and has been in public speaking for a very long time. One of the greatest challenges I face is speaking to a computer screen in my office. That's a challenge, no direct feedback. So maintaining something that I want to be beneficial to you, I want to be able to add value to everybody on here today and you walk away with something. So the first thing that I hear, listening to everybody talk prior to me, one thing I want to tag right into is simply saying that what Jonathan said. He mentioned the terms, just real quick, opportunity, but he also mentioned uncomfortable right there side by side. And the challenge of that is that the opportunities that we want, that we all desire, that we deserve are on the other side of uncomfortable. And so one thing we need to remember, is I kind of want to put this in context for the call, is if we only do what's comfortable, we deny ourselves what is possible. And I want to take that to especially new agents coming in and building your brand, building your business or your team. Don't stick to what is comfortable, right? And what is comfortable right now, what we're seeing is behind us, the past. And a lot of us are saying, I can't wait to get back to the way things used to be. And my challenge to you today, and everything I'm going to put into context, is simply let's focus forward on, because what we, where our focus goes, our energy flows. What we're looking on and moving towards, right? The great things, because I've heard other things on here. Sales are up, record months, and we've got to be careful where our focus goes. Because what I don't want my focus is, I hear record month, I hear this team is doing good, I hear closings, I see the list of new members, I see all the trainings that are being offered. Those are fantastic. But if we're not careful, we tend to, depending upon what we're consuming, we gravitate back to those other things in life, right? The bad reports that we're seeing. So be careful on that and focus on the right things. The first point I'm talking about nails right into that, and it transitions, is let hope rise. Let hope rise. And why do I say that? It's because right now, in a time of quote unquote uncertainty, let's use a term that all realtors know. Right now, we're in a time that nobody knows anything about. The nearest global pandemic, 52 plus years ago. There's nothing to compare it to. And so really, in the truth be told, there are no experts. And there's nobody to come to say, well, we can put out models and we can talk about what may happen, the what ifs, the scenarios. But understand, for where we are right now, there is no comp for this, right? So that's something we understand. There's nothing to compare it to. And so there's a lot of that. So it is okay. I want to give you the okay. It is okay for you not to have all the answers right now. Your clients, your potential clients, are unfolding this and walking this out with you. So that's okay. What they do want you to do is be the absolute very best version of you. And that needs to be somebody who is absolutely full of hope. And how do we become full of hope? We surround ourselves with other people full of hope. Because again, like I said, the conversations kind of drive our direction. And if we're around people that are telling us things, negative, or they said, did you hear the newest report? Did you see the number of cases? Have you done this? And everything is reverting back to something negative. Here's a challenge. As adults, we tend to remember we still control everything. And it's not too late for us to be able to change our circle of influence. Do you understand that? And so obviously with the people on this line, right, with David, with Eric, with Marlo, with Jillian, we've got people to surround ourselves with. I heard David talk about prayer. There's another powerful tool to allow us to let hope rise. And we need to be able to get around people that see that way, that speak that way, that believe that way, that see the record months coming. They see that happening again and again and again. Now, they're not ignorant. They pay attention to market trends and what's going on. But at the same time, we've got to be able to walk this forth and have hope in us. Why? Because hope is contagious. And when you get around people that are hope and hopeful, they're filled up. They can see the best in everything. And those are the kind of people that may give you exactly what you need to transition through this, because none of us know when the end of this is coming, or when quote unquote normal will return for us, or what this new normal will do. But I'm telling you, during this time, we need to just keep our eyes focused on what's in front of us, focus on the task at hand, and let hope rise. So number two, I'll be very quick on. I'm sorry, and I apologize, because Nikki, this is new for me too. So Nikki, could you, there, she's got it up for the poll. So thank you, Nikki. I love her. So the first poll, we want to just ask people kind of in the idea, where are we at in our current level of hope right now? Running low? Some hope, like we got a little, but we know it's not enough and we're kind of just hanging on? Or are we a full tank, right? Are we full up? Where are we at? And she's kind of like, so she's doing that and putting that out there. Take a look at it right now. And just remember, like I said, that here's the most important thing right here. I think, again, this, like I said, adults, we control. We tell our children, we tell, people in our circle, hey, you can control that. If bad things are happening, you're hanging around the wrong people. As adults, we forget that because we're like, well, I've had this group or these people for a very, very long time. Understand that we control what we consume. Does that make sense? So we control what we consume. And so it sounds great to understand that we're in charge of that, right? If bad stuff is coming in, we need to sometimes physically change the channel of what we're intaking and what's going on. I don't think we need to be ignorant. We need to know what's going on in the world around us, especially market conditions, but we have to be careful of what we're allowing to transform us, right? Because we get into something and we become conformed to what the market says. We become conformed to what the news media says. We've got to be careful about that and what we're allowing to transform us. So good results. We're seeing that people that are full tank, full up with hope, 69% of the participants, some hope, 31%. Guess what? None of you are running low according to the poll. That's an awesome place to be. So, but I do challenge the 30% plus that were in here that say they have some hope. Get around somebody, talk to somebody, say, hey, when you answer that, where are you at? Well, I'm full of hope. Then guess what? Get in hold of them, get in touch with them, and hang around them and kind of find out what they're doing that adds hope and value to what you're doing and your goals. So second thing I'm going to touch on briefly, because this is something that Premier Plus does all the time, very important, is investing in you. And so right now when we're in this, right, I'm going to tell you that your greatest return on investment is not your 401k. It is not your stock portfolio. It is not a home you're going to buy for a potential flip. Your greatest return on investment is always you. The greatest thing that you can do for your clients and potential clients going forward is investing in you. And so my challenge is that no matter what level we are, we're all at different varying levels, is to continue to pour into you, right? Because the greatest, I've said the greatest travesty of this entire pandemic is not coming out on the other side and saying we made it. It's coming out on the other side exactly the same as we were when we came into it. All we did was maintain who we are. We added no value. We are no better for it. So again, I want to come out of this, and I hope you do too, with more than a hobby. I want to come out of this with something that adds value in my business, to my clients, to my family, and be able to give something on a higher level. So continue to understand that everything that we put into ourselves, all of the level of commitment, right, that we pour back into ourselves will net our clients and potential customers a greater return on their investment. I hope that makes sense to you. So continue to invest in you. And guess what? By the time this pandemic fades away, we're going to roll out the version 2.0 of you. So the third one, most important to me during this time and just in life in general, embrace the process. Now, what does that look like for for us as realtors and going through this, right? Enjoying the process. So Nikki, the poll is, what level have we invested in? Nikki, can you launch poll 3? And that's mine. I'm trying to skip over that quickly because we had time. So poll number 3, she's going to launch right now, asking about the process. And what I mean about the process is ultimate goal for most realtors is we're doing, obviously, building relationships, but guess what? It ends at the closing table most times, right? But there's everything that happens in between, mining for the lead, calling the client, interviewing, walking through the process, right? Getting the listing, and then marketing it, and then putting it out there and doing the work and doing the showings. All of this is important, right? That's the process. The process is what are going to net results at the closing table, not the other way around. So we need to focus on the process and embrace what happens in between. So do you enjoy the process? 1 answer, not at all. 2 is sometimes. And 3 is always. So take a look at that poll right now and answer that. But what I'm saying is, so something we can relate to, all of us, let's say health and fitness, the gym, right? We would all like to have a beach body or look good. Well, especially after this COVID damage, come on. But we all want to have that coming out of it. But the truth of the matter is, the process is getting up early to work out. The process is saying no to sweets or dessert. The process is doing the things that we don't want to do, going back to what I said in the beginning and Jonathan said, getting uncomfortable. So start to embrace those things that are uncomfortable. You don't want to do technology? Well, guess what? You need to embrace the process, because that is part of what we're in, and rolling out that version 2.0 of you looks like. So embrace the process and understand. So we walk through this. We know that I'm seeing where she's bringing them up right now. There we go. Awesome. So again, do you enjoy the process? Not at all. Only 4%, right? That's tough. And again, we need to find something in that system that we can do and we can latch on that we do enjoy. And then things that we aren't, guess what? We do have resources at Premier Plus. We have other realtors that we can help collaborate with, maybe to take up some of the tensions or some of the jobs that we don't particularly care for or like specifically. And my poll disappeared, Nikki. So, but the majority of us, yep, there he goes. The majority of us, sometimes we're 20%, but the majority of us, again, almost 80%, always enjoying the process. And I think that's the biggest thing inside of this, is knowing there's no comp for what we have going on, right? We have to kind of recreate as we're going along. But what your customers want is the absolute best version of you. So remembering to let hope rise, to become the best version of you, especially during this time, as things are starting to reshape and starting to take shape of what they're going to be and what they're going to look like, whether that be wearing masks or showing homes virtually. Embrace what that looks like right now. Why? Because your client is not concerned about all the other things you can do. They want you right now. I'm in the market. We have an active listing right now. And my wife and I have multiple friends that are good at realty, but a few of them that only do it full time for a living and are fully vested into it. We want somebody who best represents our interests and somebody who knows what's going on in that market. So again, if things are changing, don't be afraid to let people know that you don't understand that part, but you're going to do everything in your power to find out. You have the resources at Premier Plus to be able to support you and take you through that, and continue to rely on one another, lean on each other, especially in this group, and let hope rise, guys. Thank you guys so much. I'm at the end of my time, and Nikki, that's all I've got.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Scott. We really appreciate your time. You're amazing. I can't believe how much content you got in the short amount of time you had. Really appreciate you. All right, so you can find Scott J. VAIL paintings information on your mypremierplus.com vendor list. We'll also share that information on our Facebook page. Thank you for your time, Scott. Really appreciate you. So I'm going to introduce our next speaker, but I want to remind you that if you want a PPR Cares t-shirt for free, you got to stay tuned to the end, because I'm going to tell you how you can win one. We're going to have a lot to give away, so don't worry. The scarcity is not there. We have so many of these shirts to give away. And also, you'll be able to buy one on Monday for $20, and the money will go back to local nonprofit organizations. So what I have the pleasure of doing now is introducing our amazing Lee County broker, David COPPOCK. This guy has been in the real estate industry for over 30 years. He's done it all, he's seen it all, and he's got the t-shirts to prove it. So you are in for a treat. He's gonna bring it all together with some sales training. So you wanna get your notebook out. If you're multitasking, it's time to pay attention to what Mr. COPPOCK has to say. And welcome, thank you. I'm gonna give it over to you.
Hello. Hey there. Jillian, can you hear me?
Yep, I'm still here. We can hear you and we can see you. If you have a question for Mr. COPPOCK, you can go ahead and type it in the Q&A and in the chat. So we can hear you and see you just fine.
Well, I want to thank you for putting me right behind all of those participants. That's really, thank you very much. I got a tough road to hoe.
That's why.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I've got my the Golden Gate Bridge in the background, a little Presidio right there by it. So I wanted to thank all the participants. It was just fantastic content, and thank all of you for putting this on. It really was amazing. Wanted to talk a couple things today. First off, I know that we're all getting a lot of multiple offers. So wanted to talk a little bit about the multiple offer scenario. And so I think we naturally think, all right, multiple offers, I'm going to get this under contract. But when multiple offers come, if we've got 4 offers, then there's going to be 1 person who wins and 3 that don't win. So I want you to really take care when you're getting these multiple offers. Make sure that you reach out to anyone who might be showing your property in the next day or 2. Also, we have a multiple offer form in app files. There's one form for the seller to explain what are the options when you have a multiple offer. There's also a form that you can send out to the other agents who have brought you offers. And that form is going to tell you that, hey, we're looking for a highest and best by a certain date. Okay, so that's always the best thing to do. Always put it in writing. I've seen so many circumstances with multiple offers where the seller has agreed to an offer, it wasn't fully executed, and then the next day an offer comes in $10,000 above asking price. And so now the seller's inclined to take the $10,000 extra and ends up, you know, in a really tough situation with the ones that they had verbally agreed to. So anytime you're in multiple offers, everything in writing. make sure that it's done correctly. Also, we have, if it's a multiple offer and it's your buyer, right? That's where we find a lot of our biggest ethics problems, is that you got a multiple offer. Tendency is to think dollar signs and, oh, I'm going to double side this one. Very important that you're sending out to anyone who is putting an offer in, or anyone who may be putting an offer in, or showing your property in the next few days, that we do have an offer, right? And it is a double-edged sword at times. Some buyers do not want to get into a multiple offer situation, and they might just bail out. So there's no handbook exactly how to do this, but it has to come from the seller. You've got to let them make that decision. Other times I see in multiple offer situations, and Dave Gallus had one the other day, where we're saying, oh, well, I represent the seller and I need to get them the best deal. We represent the transaction. We're transaction brokers. So make sure that you keep that in mind. And, it's just very important. It's not only the price, it's price and terms, right? Which offer, and these are things that you need to counsel your sellers on. Which offer has more down payment? Which one is an FHA, maybe a VA or a cash? We also got to be conscious of, if we get this offer, and sometimes we'll have buyers paying $10,000, $20,000 more than asking price, because that's the school district they want. That's exactly the style of home they want, the neighborhood. And so we want to make sure that that's going to appraise as well. So do your homework on the comps. If you have any issues with multiple offers, please let me know. But it's really important that you, in writing, notify other parties with your seller's permission that we have multiple offers. And I did have one where we accepted the multiple offer. It wasn't fully executed. It was verbally the next morning, and then we had a $20,000 price come up. So it can be tricky, and we're here to help you with all of that. So also wanted to talk to you about growing your business. And we have agents that come through, and you go get your license, and then you go through MentorEDGE. You joined our wonderful company, and then you say, what do I do now? And so there's a lot of things that you can do, and we got to understand, there's no closings without contracts, no contracts without contacts. So you can buy your contacts through lead generation sources. There's all kinds of ways that you can go through your sphere of influence. But one of the best ways to build your business is through referrals. And by doing that, I see a lot of agents will just walk up to somebody and say, hey, I'm in real estate, right? We've got our name tags on, and here's my business card. Let me know if you happen to know of anybody looking to buy or sell. Another way to go about that is if you know someone, you contact them and say, hey, just wanted to find out, by the way, if you or a friend or family member were looking to buy or sell real estate, would I be the professional that you'd recommend them to? And if they say yes, then get their contact information, put it in your database, qualify your database. And if you don't have a database, you're missing the boat. You certainly should, but want to qualify that database. So you can come up to anyone you know. So that's a person that you do know. If it's someone you don't know, you walk up to them and say, hey, by the way, if you're a friend or family member looking to buy or sell real estate, do you have a professional realtor to refer them to, right? And the answer is going to be yes or no. It might be that, well, my sister's in real estate, so I've got to use her. But if the answer is no, then say, well, that's fantastic. I come across information from time to time that everybody feels is valuable. Do you mind if I send that to you? Get their contact information. And now you've got another contact, right? And then you can write them handwritten thank you notes. You can keep them in your database, and you qualify those databases, right? It's either an A, a B, a C, and then the D's you just get out of there. So it's important that you do that. And so anyone you ever run into, you can ask them for business instead of saying, here's my card, call me, because they won't. And so it's one thing that we just got to understand is when you get into this business, you can't be afraid. And Scott and Jonathan just talked about it. You got to get out of your comfort zone. I don't think anybody really loves prospecting, right? But that's what you're going to need to do in one way or another. Let's say you're having an open house. you definitely need to go to at least 10 houses around that house, invite them to your open house, and just knock on the door and say, hey, listen, didn't know if you noticed my listing across the street, wanted to invite you to come to my open house. Oh, and by the way, do you rent or do you own? If they say we own, then say, well, when are you moving? And establish a relationship. See if you can get some contact information from them. If they say, no, we're renting, well, would you like me to, connect you with our mortgage preferred vendor? And they can see if you can get qualified. Are you interested in owning? So all of those things, those 3 scripts, you can talk to anybody with, okay? And this is, it's just something as a new agent, especially, you've got to get out there and shake the bushes, right, to get the fruit to fall. And as a new agent, you got to be thinking every single day when you wake up, what am I going to do today to grow my business, right? And all of us are business owners, right? And there's 3 legs to the stool, according to Brian Buffini. And if you haven't heard of Brian Buffini, look him up online and look at the top producer class. It's fantastic. But he talks about the 3 legs of the stool, right? You've got your CEO hat on, right? That's the one that you're out there driving your business. Just what I talked about. Drive business to your business. And then you've got your COO hat, right? We're every day going out there and we're doing inspections and appraisals and surveys, and we're putting on lock boxes and putting up signs and doing all that kind of stuff. That's the COO business, just managing your business, customer service. And then your CFO hat. You need to be seeing what you're spending. Is it profitable? Look at a return on investment on what you're spending. So those 3 legs of the stool, none more valuable than the CEO hat. That's driving business to your business. 5 times as important. So that's getting out there and prospecting. I have agents that spend 2 hours a day, every day, and that's what you should do too, on generating business to your business. So that's really all I have, Jillian, and I appreciate all of you for being here. And hopefully some of that helped. And if you have any questions on that, feel free to call me. I'll give you those scripts. Those scripts have to be practiced. You can't just spew it how to be, you've got to practice it. So again, getting out of your comfort zone. If you're not comfortable with it, you're going to have to get comfortable.
Wow. Thank you so much. So sometimes he will come in the office and just lay down some serious sales training and knowledge, and we're just going, wow, that was amazing. So you guys are you're very, very blessed in Lee County to have broker David COPPOCK as a resource. If you need help getting out of bed and spending those 2 hours growing your business with your CEO hat or operating with your COO hat, we want you to just give him a call and get to know him and lean on him as a great resource. So again, he has those scripts for you. So you can email him at brokercoppok@pprmail.com and he'll be happy to share that with you. So thank you so much, David. I really, really appreciate you and all that you do to love on our agents.
Thank you.
All right, so I am here to wrap it up and tell you how you can win one of many of our PPR Cares t-shirts. So you can buy this for 20 bucks on Monday at the North Naples office, and that's great because that money will go to the local nonprofits. Or you can win one for free. We have a large shipment of shirts coming in, and they will be here on Monday. So what do you have to do? You have to get a little uncomfortable. If there is one thing that I hear over and over again, it's, I don't really want to do video to grow my business. I really hate myself on video. I really don't know what to say. I'm awkward on video. Well, guess what? Too bad. Because what you need to do to win a PPR Cares shirt is you need to join the Premier Plus Realty private group, which you have to be an active PPR agent to join. So we'll approve you in that group. You need to take a selfie video and you need to let us know what you have done to be an overcomer this year. We want to hear your story. We want to hear how you have grown your real estate business, or how you are working on yourself, or what you're doing to enjoy the process like Scott J. Vail was talking about. What is one thing that you've been really uncomfortable with, like making calls or connecting with your network? Some people are really uncomfortable with that, but you overcame and did it. We want to hear stories like that. And if you join the Premier Plus Realty private group, you take a video of you talking about how you've overcome the situation and you post it in the private group, you can pick up a free PPR Cares t-shirt at our North Naples office on Monday. We'll be keeping track of your name and set that aside for you to come and choose your size. Again, we will have those t-shirts available for sale, but if you want it for free, you got to do some things that are uncomfortable. We will post the details that I just shared with you on our Facebook page and in that private group. And I am looking forward to your videos on how you have been an overcomer. We certainly know that our company has overcome, and we are so very proud of all of your work. Pretty sure we're getting an average of 30, 39 new contracts a day that we're processing, and we're busy because you're busy getting out there and being your own CEO and driving your own business, because you are responsible and you are your own business owner. So we love you and we appreciate you, and just look forward to growing together. All right, you are overcomers. Come and get your PPR Cares t-shirt. I will see you on the private group. Thank you to all of our panelists. Thank you to NIKKI Hunter, your event coordinator, for putting this all together. Thank you to Eric Gallus, our CEO, and our founder, David Gallus, for making this company great. Broker Marlo Rhymes, broker David COPPOCK. Thank you to Jonathan Garrick from Movement Mortgage. Thank you to Josh Rudnick from WWMR. Thank you also to Jessica Loy for letting us know about the MentorEDGE program graduates. Congratulations to all of the graduates and welcome to all the new agents. Thank you to Victor J. ASENCIO, your career development coordinator director, for sharing all of the stats and numbers. Thank you to Mark Washburn, one of the amazing top producing team leads here at Premier Plus Realty, for sharing some inside knowledge on how to grow your business. And we love and appreciate you all. I'm pretty sure I hit everybody. If I didn't, sorry. All right, we love you. See you in the private group. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.